Did I say that? What did I say? Oh, I mean what I said. And what I said was correct. Is either the problem is from you or it's from you. It can only be from you. Do you wear your spectacles anymore? Do you still wear it? No, you dump it. I'm no longer looking for a husband. Hello, welcome to PCTV channels. Today we'll be talking about how to win back your husband's love, or how to win back your husband's heart. This is a question I saw people talking about on Facebook the other day, and a woman asked this question: how can I win back my husband's heart? And many people were throwing in their answers. Some people said, pray for him, be his hero, try to pamper him. Some people, one man said, give him money. Some other people said, oh, treat him kindly, respect him, this and that. There are many things that many people were saying, but actually I wrote a good one for you. If your husband has started showing some negative behavior or negative characters towards your relationship with him, then something is wrong somewhere, and it's either the problem is from you or is from you. Did I say that? What did I say? Oh, that was correct. I mean what I said, and what I said was correct. It's either the problem is from you or it's from you. It can only be from you. How? Don't worry, you will find out soon. Make sure you follow this video from beginning to end so that you will understand this clearly. The problem can only come from you. There is no husband that cannot be held back from sleeping around, but there are only wives that cannot hold back their man from sleeping around. This is true. If your husband is sleeping around with small girls, then you, the wife, you are not doing what you are supposed to do as a wife. This is true. There are several things that can cause a husband to sleep around, and I give you number one. Your husband got married to you when you were keeping yourself neat, clean all the time. You paint your lips, and you put on earring, and you wear good clothes, and you wear good shoes, and perhaps you use beautiful spectacles, and you look charming, and other men loved you. Many men were dying for you, and your husband came and married you. And then when you come to the house, do you wear your spectacles anymore? Do you still wear it? No, you dump it. I'm no longer looking for a husband. And then, do you still wear good clothes? Do you still dress well? Do you still wear good shoes? Do you still wash your clothes very well? Do you keep your house clean? How do you look? Or do you go around tying wrappers like an old woman? And when your husband looks at you, you are no longer the way he saw you before he got married to you. This is no longer the goods I bought. That is one thing that will make him to start going outside. When he goes outside, he sees what he likes and he falls for it, because what he has at home is an old goods, an expired goods. He can't enjoy it anymore. Do you think that when you get married, you don't need good clothes anymore? You need it. That is when you need it the most. Do you think that when you get married that you shouldn't ping anymore? Do you think that when you get married you don't need those your beautiful eyeglasses, beautiful spectacles, and good clothes that you used to wear when you were still single? That is when you need it the most in order to keep your marriage. You have to look like the thing that the man got married to. He did not get married to you because you were tying wrappers. You weren't tying wrappers, and immediately he got married to you, you got all the wrappers in the world and you began to tie wrappers. When you want to visit a friend, you tie wrapper. When he's going out with you, you look like his mother. This is one thing that can cause your husband to start going out. Another thing that can cause your husband to start sleeping outside is you being a nagging wife? How do you welcome him when he comes back from work? How do you welcome him when he comes back from work? Do you give him peace at home? Do you make him feel happy staying at home, staying with you at home? Because of course I know that most married men don't like spending a lot of time outside. The reason is because of their wife whom is at home. They feel like, oh, let me do fast and meet my wife at home. Why? Because their wife gives them the best. They can't even eat what is cooked outside. Why? Because the kind of food their wife cooks for them inside the house. Wow. When you test it, you feel like you are a king. What kind of meal do you give him? How do you treat him? Or do you always nag? There are no husbands that cannot be held back from sleeping around. There are only wives that cannot hold back their husband from sleeping around. And another thing you need to know is this. Every man knows when their wife is a liability from when she is an asset. Are you a liability or an asset? Do you just sit back in the house and then what you do is you ask for money? When he doesn't bring enough, you try to shout about it. Do you ever bring money into the house? Are you a liability or an asset? You are supposed to be a helpmate, not a consumer. Are you an asset or a liability? When you are a liability, that man will get tired of you. You are not supposed to be a liability. You are supposed to be helping him in one way or the other. If you can't help monetarily, you can help by giving advice. In the last 12 months, how many times have you advised him wisely? Answer it yourself. So, what kind of a wife are you? What kind of a wife are you? Listen, every man knows when their wife has value and when their wife has lost value. That is the truth. Every man knows that. So if you no longer have value, your husband can eventually bring in his mistress into the house, into your matrimonial home. He doesn't even fear, because he thinks this thing I have in the house doesn't have value again. And he believes that there is nothing you can do about it. Do you still have value? Or have you lost value? Because you gave birth to 2 children, you no longer package yourself well as a wife. At least when your husband sees you passing the road and he is with his friends, he'll be proud to tell his friends, oh, there is my wife, honey, come. Honey, come. And he gives you a peck in front of his friends. And not when he sees you passing, he will hide so that the people will not know that this is his wife. This one looks like your grandma. Another thing that you need to know is this. Every man differentiates from when they have you, their wife, as a helpmate from when they have you as an antagonist. Even when your husband brings a decision and you think that decision is not wise, how do you address it? How do you talk to him about it? Do you raise your voice? When you think you can't win by shouting, you try to take a decision that can get him annoyed. See, men are very easy people to handle. Men will give you the leadership of the house if you submit to him and do not doubt his authority. Make him the leader. Make him the man of the house. Make him the one who has the final say. And you will see that eventually he will hand it over to you. That is what a wise woman does. And not trying to be the person that will say what happens. He knows when you are antagonizing him and when you respect his authority as the man. He knows. So how do you handle this? Do you just believe that maybe you need to win him? You need to win with your argument. You need to win. Yeah? This nonsense human being, nonsense man. Yeah? You have to take it easy. He is the man. He is the man and he has the final say. When you do this, you will find out that it is you, the woman, that will be leading in the issues of the house, because he will eventually leave everything for you. From time to time, he will ask you, honey, what are we going to do about this? You will see it. Because you left the authority to him, he will now give you the chance to decide in almost everything. Almost everything that is meant for you. One of the questions that women ask about this issue is it my fault when he has a mistress outside? Oh yes, it's your fault. It's your fault. 100 times your fault. If your man has a mistress outside, it is because he is not satisfied with what he has in the house. If he has a great woman in the house, he will not go out looking for cheap girls outside the house. Those cheap girls, there are things that they do to your man that attracts him to them. Why don't you do that in your house? Why don't you do that in your house? Another thing that I have to tell you is this. The time you were still in courtship with your husband, perhaps you used to come to his house and wash his clothes and clean up the house for him. He has not got married to you. Now that you are married to him, do you still wash his clothes? Do you still clean up the house? Tell me, whose fault is it that your husband is looking outside? Now, you have to make sure that you are doing certain things that you started in the beginning, that you started with your husband in the beginning. You have to make sure that you are doing those things even up till now.